Takeaway coffee is a very popular way to get your brew. I like them for a couple of reasons. I like them because they're quick and easy. The customer doesn't hang around. I like them because the customer doesn't leave a mess. And I also like them because it gives me the opportunity to practice latte art without having to worry about presenting it. So this video, I'm going to give you 3 tips for making sure your takeaway coffee is spot on the mark. So the first tip is a keep cup. Keep cups are great because they reduce the waste that the takeaway cups produce. Let's say a person is getting 3 takeaway cups a day. That adds up to over 1,000 cups a year. That's the amount of cups that get thrown in a landfill. And while there are some bio-friendly cups out there, it's still a ridiculous waste. So by having a keep cup, not only are you reducing that waste, but you're also helping save your cafe money because they won't have to factor in the cost of that cup every time you're getting one. They will also, some cafes give you discounts or even a free cup of coffee when you purchase one of their keep cups. Keep cups are also really popular. You can pick them up at Kmart, or again, you can get them from the cafe that you get your coffee from with that logo brand. It's very helpful as a barista to have keep cups coming in because you get to remember the keep cup along with the customer's order. That means that when you see that cup there, there's no guesswork. You don't have to read anything. You know the coffee that goes into that cup. The second tip is a bit of a technical tip. It's something that I see a lot of baristas missing, and that is where you put your spout. So the coffee cup has a seam where the paper folds over it. Now, this seam, if you have your spout on it, can get very wet and leaky. So if you can ensure that the actual spout is away from the seam, you'll make sure that your coffee cup stays intact and doesn't leak all over your clothes. The third tip is the way that you set up your takeaway tray. So, if you've got a 4-spout tray, 4-cup tray, and you have the spouts facing into each other, that ensures that when the customer is walking, they don't have it jumping all over their clothes, especially if they are a public servant who's wearing a suit. You'll be making a good friend and having a good customer. I see baristas a lot of the time having the spouts facing outwards in random directions. I don't like that. I find it very messy. It doesn't really look very professional. So even on a just observational stance, if you've got your spouts facing in the right direction, it'll look neat and presentable and beautiful and perfect. So these are the 3 tips I have for takeaway coffees. First, get yourself a keep cup. Second, if you don't have a keep cup, make sure your spout is away from the seam. And third, if you have multiple cups of coffee in a carrier tray, have your spouts facing into each other.